Hey guys, BitSquid here and welcome to another Unity Playmaker tutorial. In this one, what we're going to be doing is making another kind of timer, which is actually going to record the amount of time it's taken us to finish a level. So maybe this is good for like a speedrunning game or like total playtime, etc. So what'll happen is there'll be in the top screen like a timer on top of the screen, like showing how long you've been doing it. Once we reach the goal, it's going to check our current time against the best time, and then if there's a new best time, it will now set your current new time as that and save it. So let's get into it. I have a very basic scene here. Play a character with different sprites here, so for running right, running left, for being idle, and that's my controller here with movement and animation controller. And then on here I've got a little trophy which is going to be our target. So let's just get this set up. So first of all, we're going to add an empty game object. We're going to call this timer and go to Playmaker, and we're going to add a new FSM and call this add time. And we want two actions here. We want to do a float add and then a convert seconds to string. So with float add, we're going to create a new global variable called current time, and we're going to add 1 per frame every second. Then in the convert seconds to string, we're going to do current time, and we're going to add a new variable called current time underscore string. And then we're going to delete the first thing here, which is the curly bracket 1 colon D2 curly bracket closed H colon, because that's for hours. Now that would be useful if you want to show hours, but for this one I'm only showing like minutes. Okay, and then you'll see we've got these left, and we've got like an M with a colon, a S with a colon, then an MS. Anything which is not inside the curly brackets, delete besides the colon. So basically any alphabet or alphanumerical things outside of curly brackets we delete, we leave the colons in. And we'll do that every frame. So this one here, 2 colon D2, this is going to show minutes. 3 colon D2 will show seconds, and then 10 is going to show our milliseconds. And let's call this one add time. Okay, next we need to add a canvas, and we'll call this timer canvas. And we're going to set this to scale with screen size. You could also scale it to the camera, overlay camera if you prefer, but I'm just going to do it with scale with screen size. And we're going to add a text object. Now for me it's going to be legacy text because TextMesh Pro is better, but with Playmaker I haven't managed to get it to work with Playmaker yet. If I ever do, I will make an update, and we'll call this timer text. Okay, and we're going to set this to 50, bold, and we're going to do 00 colon 00 colon 0, not 200. Okay, that's going to represent like a basic time. We'll go to that, scale it so it is big enough to see. I'm going to then center it on the alignment for both of them, and then up here you can see where my mouse is. I'm going to click on here, and where it says top, and you can see this marking here for center, top center, and press Alt, click on that. That's now going to anchor that to here, and you can see that by the anchor point swap now I've gone. Okay, and all I need to do on here is add another FSM and call this show time, and we're going to do a UI text set text. Make sure you use UI text set text and not get text or any other things what could pop up. Okay, and then game object owner, because we're putting it on the text here. and we're going to check or tick or select the box here to use variable and choose our current time string and then every frame. So if I hit play here, on my play window, you'll then see when it finishes compiling, milliseconds and seconds. And that is that part done. Next, we want something to happen when we reach the goal. In this case, which is my trophy. And, oh, this shouldn't be here, sorry. I had issues with the last video, so let me remove this, okay. So, we're gonna add a state here and call this player contact. And I'm gonna name the FSM goal reached. And I'm gonna add a finish transition here. Okay, and then on finish, I'm going to click on there to drag out the arrow, press Control and release the mouse, holding Control still to create a new state. You can just click and add state if you want, and then we'll call it end level. So we're going to add a few things here, 3 things in fact. We're not going to use all of them at the moment. We're going to add 2 activate game objects and then a scale time. We're going to set that to 0. And we're going to leave these 2 here for now. So what we want to do is once we hit there, our player is going to cause the trigger to happen and freeze level. But we need to add that. So on our player contact, we're going to add a trigger 2D event. And we're going to choose collide tag player and send event finished. Now you need to make sure that your player, in this case my player holder, everything will be tagged as player. Technically you don't need the player holder because it doesn't have, well for me I don't need the player holder because there's no collider, but my idle, I have my polygon collider not as a trigger, run right and run left, and also you need to make sure that your trophy has a trigger or whatever, not the trophy but your goal has a trigger. It can be box collider 2D, circle collider 2D, capsule collider 2D I think they have now. But I prefer polygon collider because it actually maps out the shape of the actual shape with the collider. And it needs to be a trigger for it to work. Otherwise you'd need it to be a collision. If you didn't have it set as trigger on here and the player, you need it to be a collision because it's actually hitting a physical object. Alright, so let's test that. So when I hit it, there we go, and it took me 4.74 seconds. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now what we want to do is actually have it to compare some things. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a new empty and call this timer master. You can call yours whatever you want. Okay, and in here we just need a few things. So we're going to add an FSM. I'm going to call this check best time. Okay, and I'm going to call this first one check best time. Okay, and then we're going to add 2 events. We'll call one, say, new best, and then no new. It's fine. I'm going to add these to my thing here, a new best and a no new. And then I'm going to click on each one, Control, release the mouse button to create a new one. So hit Control, click, release the mouse, then you can let it go Control to create 2 new states. We don't need them to link back because this is going to activate once the level end is reached. And in here we're going to do a float compare. And we are going to compare our current time. So we're going to tick the box, check the box here to use a variable, and then we're going to do the same on float2, and we're going to use a new global called best time. And if it is equal, we want no new. If it's less than, we want new best, and then greater than no new. Okay, and then here we'll say set new time. And this one, we'll say do nothing. But we will do something later. And what we're going to do here is on set new, we're going to do a set float value. And we'll also put an activate game object. So you'll see what we want to do soon. Okay. So set float value, we're going to take it so it's both using variables. Float variable, we're going to choose our best time. Float variable, we're going to use our current time. Don't tick every frame because it's then going to add the same value every time. And then we're going to have that one here. And in do nothing, we'll also add an activate game object. But we're going to uncheck the activate box, so it'll be a deactivate. Okay, and what we want to do is we actually want to uncheck the box up here so that it is now not activated. And once we reach our gold trophy, we're going to go to end level here, activate game object. The first one, specify game object, timer master. So once you reach there, that's going to activate, check our scores, and then compare. Now, if we do it like this at the moment, if we look at our global variables here, our best time at the moment is 0 and our current time is 0. Now, that means it's impossible because we're not going to get a negative time. So we want to have a thing here. So we could say 10 seconds. So once you do yours, like play it through yourself or give it like a longer time. Maybe it'll take only 1 minute to beat level, but you could set it as 3 minutes. So it's just an easy thing to beat the first time. So that means once we reach here, we can actually watch this happening. Okay, we'll hit play. Hopefully this will all update. Let the compiling happen, and then we're gonna run. We'll reach that. Sets new time, and you can see here now my best time is now this here. Now it is a bit different, but I think once we show it in a moment, it will show the same as we have here. It's a bit weird how it is. But yeah, so that is working. And what we can do actually to test that soon, we'll actually add an option to restart everything. Okay, so next we need to actually show our high scores. So we're going to add UI, add a panel. I'll call this end screen for now. And I'm going to make this a solid color, put the alpha up to 255. And we're going to add some text. Okay, and we'll call this current best time. And we'll set this to, again, 00:00:00:00. Make it bold. And we'll put this as, say, 80. Let's zoom in on that. Okay. I'm going to center all of it. And then I'm just going to move that around there. We can actually duplicate this one and put it down, and we'll just change the name. I'll call this current time. Okay, so on this one, what I want to do is, because it's going to be a best time, what we need to do is add an FSM, and we'll call it show best time. And we'll put this again, show time. Okay, and we need to add two things to here, and because they're in the top, they'll be easy to find here. You want a UI text set text and a convert seconds to string, because at the moment we're not converting the seconds for best time, so we need to use this again. So we'll go to our globals, and we're going to choose best time for seconds variable, and then we're going to go to new global. We'll call this best time underscore string. And again, same as last time, I'm going to remove anything I don't need. So the letters, just leaving in colons and anything inside the curly brackets. And I'm going to make sure I do every frame. Then here we're going to use owner. We're going to use the text here, check it to make it to a variable, and choose our best time string, and then every frame. Technically, you don't need every frame for this one, but sometimes I like to check it just to make sure, but I believe it will work without it. On current time, again, show time. Again, just call it show time. Action browser, and then it's a UI text set text. We don't need to convert again because we've already done that, and we're just going to use here our current time string. Okay, now let's tell the player what each one is. So we'll use Text Mesh Pro here. So let's import this because it looks nicer. There we go. Okay, get rid of that warning. Okay, and what we're going to do here is put here best time, or let's call it current record. Record time even. Record time. And we're just going to scale that so it fits. Make it bold. And just have that above there. And we can actually duplicate that one. Oops. Sorry, I hit the wrong things there. I pressed Windows D instead of Control D. Okay, Control D. Okay, and we'll call this one record time text. And then this one, F2, current time text. I'll move that down. Okay, I'll just put your time. Maybe a colon on each one actually as well. Oh, Control Z. Damn it. There we go. Right, one last thing we want to, and that is spelled terribly wrong. Let me correct that. Okay, and then we want to add one more thing. We're going to UI Text Mesh Pro, and we'll call it new time. And we'll put this as new. Have it bold, and let's give it a different color. There we go. And we'll pop that above there. And we can deactivate that. Okay, and we want to deactivate our end screen. Our timer master. Yep, new comment here, specify game object, and with our end screen, new time, we're going to pop that into here. So then it's going to activate our new best time. And then in deactivate owner, we're going to choose specify game object and deactivate new time. So then it's not going to appear even if we don't have a new time. Alright, and really the last thing we really need to do is now just save. So I think the best place is going to be on the where should we put it? Where is going to be the best place? Okay, we can do it here. We'll do an action here and we'll call it player prefs. I want to save variable. Okay, and what I'll do is you can give it a number. So for example, I could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need to remember this number because we need it to load. Type float variable globals best time. Okay, and that is done. Now, to test it's all working, we're going to add an empty game object and call this reset. Okay, and we're going to add here, we'll say, in this case I'm going to do press enter. So when I press my enter key, something will happen. Finished. New state, and we'll call it reset. Okay, so here we're going to do action browser, get key down. And let's do here as a return for me anyway. Send event finished, reset. So we want to restart level. We want to set float value. And we also need to load prefs load variable. Okay, so the key, same as that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Type float variable globals best time. Set float value, we're going to set our current time to 0 and then reset the scene. And also one thing I missed there will be scale time. And set that obviously to, not 0, 1. Okay, so let's check it's all working. Let's choose something to open up our variables. Global variables, go to here, global variables. We're going to hit play. And hopefully this is all going to work when it compiles. So here we go, we'll go over. Wait a bit longer, just so we can then do that. Our game object didn't activate, so let's have a look at that. Golden trophy. Okay, that's why. Here, specify game object, end screen. There we go. Okay, hit play. Okay, here we go. Just give it, say now, hit that. So we've got a new record time because before it was set to 10 seconds. Okay, so we'll hit return. Okay, and then let's wait for it to be over 6 seconds. So I'll say 7 seconds. There we go. There we go. We've got 8 seconds there. That's our record time there. So we haven't beat it. Reset again. Head straight over. Hit it. New record time. New high score. New best time. And that is it. So this one has been quite a long one. So if you managed to watch all the way through, thank you very much. Why is that now showing there? Do that, okay. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, please hit the like button and also consider subscribing for more tutorials from me. I've realised I forgot to turn off my aircon, so if there's been a buzzing sound, sorry about that. I have air conditioning on, very hot here. It's like, I don't know. How hot is it here? It is like 37, so it's like maybe 100 degrees Fahrenheit or something. I'm not sure how it works for Americans. So it's rather hot here. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. Want any other help or any questions, leave a comment, or you can join my Discord server, link in the description and the comment section down below. And that is it. Until next time, 8-Bit Squid out.